Hello everyone! Subscribe to the channel, you'll find a lot of interesting things to do. Today we will try to get one step closer to the mysteries of mankind. On the Earth there are amazing remains of ancient civilizations. These constructions do not correspond to the technological capabilities of their time because of the huge size, weight, and complex design. Did aliens create these objects? As we are on the cusp of expanding our influence in space and Mars is now within our sight, the possibility of aliens visiting Earth is not a fantasy. Could ancient mysteries be solved if alleged traces of ancient aliens are discovered in Antarctica? Why is Antarctica thought to be home to ancient aliens? Or imagine the Nazca lines hovering above the Earth? The truth remains elusive. Let's try to understand the secrets of Antarctica. According to conspiracy, the photos from the NASA operation may show signs of an ancient human settlement in Antarctica buried under the ice. Could this be the fabled Atlantis? According to legend, beneath the icy expanse of Antarctica lies the lost city of Atlantis. Proponents of this theory suggest that the continent was once ice-free and ancient civilizations may have existed on it. The crustal displacement theory states that most of Antarctica was ice-free about 12,000 years ago. However, due to crustal displacement, ice engulfed the continent during the last ice age. If it was an ice-free region, life could have existed in it. Perhaps an ancient civilization thrived here. Some researchers believe that this ancient society could have been Atlantis, a city that Plato described as being founded by half-gods, half-humans. Confirmation that it is a hidden Antarctic city can be found in a 1513 map by Turkish Admiral Peri Ras, discovered in 1929. This map, created centuries before Antarctica was officially discovered in 1820, depicts the continent before the Ice Age. The map has been heavily criticized academically. NASA's operation, the largest aerial survey of polar ice, provided data from satellite and aerial photography. Looking at these images, skeptics reject claims of Atlantis in Antarctica, and some doubt even the existence of Atlantis itself. It is this mystery that makes the myth of Atlantis, which has virtually no scientific confirmation, so intriguing. When there is little scientific substantiation, and the myth of an ancient city created some 2,300 years ago, it shows remarkable resilience. Some popular presenters claim that our modern civilization owes its existence to these almost divine beings. Defending this theory for years, they accuse archaeologists of deliberately obscuring this version of the evolution of civilization. They criticize mainstream academia for its dismissive stance, to which archaeologists respond with accusations. These fascinating claims and debates have made the story incredibly popular around the world. This enduring fascination with Atlantis begs the important question of why this ancient myth has captivated minds more than other ancient tales, and what is the appeal of this narrative. Many suggest that the demise of one civilization catalyzed cultural growth elsewhere. This perhaps explains the appeal of believing in a forgotten advanced civilization. Atlantis, a simple story of rise and fall, can be adapted for different purposes. Plato believed that the story of Atlantis served as a warning. The gods destroyed Atlantis as punishment for the arrogance of its inhabitants, in essence, a warning against overzealous efforts, and the ancient apocalypse postpones destruction for 12,000 years. Many proponents of the alternative theory believe it occurred around 1630 BC during a massive volcanic eruption on the island of Santorini. The Minoan civilization that flourished on the island of Crete was likely hit by massive tsunamis and ashfall from the release of 14 cubic miles of rock into the atmosphere. More than a millennium later in Plato's time, this catastrophe remained a subject of speculation. Many believe he attributed the event to a civilization he called Atlantis. Many theories have emerged about the origin of the Nazca lines. Since their discovery in 1926, whether they were created by aliens, a message from an ancient civilization, or something even more mysterious. Imagine soaring over the desert skies of southern Peru, expecting to see a monotonous expanse of rock and sand. But the terrain hides a deep mystery. From the air, huge formations called the Nazca Lines reveal themselves, close up and puzzling mankind for over 2,000 years. These lines include about 800 straight paths, 300 geometric shapes, and 70 biomorphic designs depicting plants and animals. These biomorphs range in size from 50 to 200 feet, some towering above the ground like the Empire State Building. Some straight lines extend up to 30 miles, and some run parallel across the desert for 30 kilometers. Some patterns curl inward, resembling swirls of colossal fingerprints, while others seem to follow no discernible pattern. One of the most intriguing figures, however, is the depiction of a humanoid, often referred to as an astronaut, as well as several other enigmatic images. What do these drawings mean? Despite being thousands of years old, their mystery has remained unsolved for over 80 years. Why, you may ask, have they only been under scrutiny for just over 8 decades? Before that, the figures remained indistinguishable on the ground, hiding their secrets. What is the purpose of the Nazca Lines? Do they hint at extraterrestrial intervention? In the late 1930s, American historian Paul Kosok studied the lines from both the air and the ground, based on the coincidence of a particular line with the sun on the winter solstice. He suggested that the geoglyphs served an astronomical purpose, marking the vast 310-square-mile desert as the largest in the world. In contrast, Swedish author Eric von Daniken suggested in his book Chariots of the Gods that the lines were landmarks for UFO landings and that ancient inhabitants honored aliens as deities from outer space. Other experts also suggest alien involvement, claiming that the drawings were landing and navigational landmarks for alien craft. Some experts believe that the Nazca, who flourished from about 1 to 700, created the lines. Earlier cultures, such as the Chavan and Paracas, which preceded the Nazca, may also have contributed. Anthropologists suggest that these ancient people created the drawings by removing 12 to 15 inches of rock, exposing the lighter-colored sand beneath. This method made the figures visible on a surface covered with iron oxide-coated pebbles. Starting with small drawings, they gradually increased in size. Some argue that if the Nazca created these lines, they did so under extraterrestrial guidance, perhaps building landing strips for alien ships or creating huge symbols visible from space. Proponents of the extraterrestrial hypothesis often refer to some of the unusual Nazca biomorphs. These biomorphs, or engravings, depict natural creatures such as humans, insects, birds, fish, plants, and flowers. Also, a mysterious 3-toed mummy discovered in June 2017 caused quite a stir. Some enthusiastic scientists claimed that this newly found specimen may not even be of human origin. Interestingly, most of the lines point to places where rituals for water and agricultural fertility were performed, not any other. The Nazca people probably held ceremonies in which they made pleas to their deities for water. The lines may have been drawn with such emphasis to attract the attention of the gods, using the shapes to express the desperate need for water, which is not only an agent of change, but also the essence of life, which may have been the message the locals wanted to convey. By sending these signals, they sought to induce transformation in the arid desert they called home. Their plea for water echoes contemporary concerns. In this regard, even if one believes in the existence of extraterrestrials and their periodic visits to Earth, their involvement in this mystery is not in doubt. But some proponents of paranormal theories argue that the indigenous people of Nazca, who are believed to have drawn these lines some 2,000 years ago, could not have accomplished this without having the ability to soar through the skies. Interestingly, early explorers who stumbled upon these patterns in the 1500s suggested that they were remnants of the complex roots of a bygone civilization. Thus, the question of who created the Nazca lines, ancient societies or aliens, remains open. Thanks for watching.